Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to Spiritual Self-Mastery. Today is not going to be a super positive video as usual, as I'm going to be talking about a very traumatic experience that happened to me not too long ago. And it would have been, traumatic for pretty much anybody who would have gone through that probably. But I've learned a lot of lesson out of it too, because there's lessons in everything. So anyways, my friend, I guess let's just jump right into it. It's an experience that happened literally on December 30th here in Lima, Peru. And right now I'm at my Airbnb. I'm back here after this traumatic experience, and I'm going to explain everything that happened. So before we continue, I'm happy now I got actually my lighting here. Okay, my friends, so I guess let's just jump right into it. Basically on December 30th of 2022, I had this I had this hostel room because I was trying to actually, trying to save some money because, just paying for Airbnb, even though, it was like a decently priced, $15 American a day, which is the equivalent of 60 soles in the Peruvian currency. It adds up with time. So I was trying to actually save a bit of money. So I had this friend that lived about 30 to 40 minutes north of Lima, still within Lima area. But as you may know, or may have heard possibly, Peru, especially Lima region, there's a lot of dangerous places. There's a lot of dangerous districts that you may not want to venture around. So I guess you can kind of see where we're heading in the story. So anyways, so I was trying to save some money, so I looked online and everything, right, to find a hostel room, and I had this friend like 30-40 minutes north, and still within Lima, north of the actual center downtown, from the coast basically, and I found this beautiful hostel room for like 600 soles a month. It was extremely cheap, and I was like, I just jumped right onto the occasion because, as I explained before, I'm planning to stay in Peru for probably, multiple years, trying to get my citizenship, and trying to find some work and everything, right? We're already got some deals going on with the owner of a retreat center. I'm going to be doing some volunteer work there and everything, so I might be able to actually get my work visa. So anyways, so I got this hostel room, right? And in the district of Zarate, or Las Flores, which means the flowers in Spanish. District of Lima, basically. But what I did not know is that this specific district is it's one of the most dangerous districts in Lima. And I moved there for a month, right? So I got my hostel room, but I didn't know about that. Anyways, but I had this other friend of mine who's another gringo, or another white man. So I was like, it's probably not that bad, right? So anyways, in this region there's a lot of crime and everything, and it's one of the two very dangerous districts actually, which I did not know. One of the dangerous districts of Lima, which you don't want to go and venture alone. Anyways, if you go there and you're a tourist, it's not a tourist-friendly area. So I learned a lot of lessons out of this experience, but basically it was on my first day at the hostel room over there. It was on December 30th, just before the year of 2022 was going to end. And so, very basic hostel room, there's nothing in there. There was just like a bed, very lower quality, very, very low quality. But I was like, well, I'm saving like a lot of money. It's 3 times as cheap as, what I'm paying right now with my Airbnb monthly. Especially since I'm planning to stay here for a couple of years in Peru, I wanted to save money, right? Especially since I'm not working right now and no money's actually coming in. because I'm only using my pension money to survive and, to walk around, because I'm trying to live my dreams, right? And eventually open my retreat center, etc. But let's continue. So on that date, on December 30th, I was actually, so in that basic hostel room, there was nothing, there's no toilet paper, there's no sheets on your bed, basically just a mattress in your bed, very basic. There's no even like a shower curtains. So you gotta buy all this stuff, right? So I had to go in town the first day I arrived. I got my hostel room, I paid the money, whatever, for the whole month. And I thought, you know what, let's try it for a whole month over there, whatever. But I did not know it was a quote-unquote a dangerous district. So anyways, because it's, northern parts of Lima, it's, closer to like some mountains type area. And there's a lot more, it's kind of like more middle class, I guess, Peruvians. That's where you actually meet like the actual middle class, normal type Peruvians. That's where a lot of Peruvian population is actually at. But if you're a tourist and you're gonna go over there, it may not be the best idea unless you go and walk with some people that you already know, that live from there, or you're in a group, because it can be dangerous. So anyways, so I was walking down, right, because this basic hostel room did not have the basic necessities, right, which I actually needed, some toilet paper and some bed sheets. So I needed to buy these bed sheets and this toilet paper for at least my first day, right? I still had like a portable, inflatable pillow that my brother actually bought me just before I left Canada. So I inflated that, and that was my pillow. That was great because it didn't take a lot of space. But so I was walking downtown, right? And but the same day I arrived, my friend told me, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. It's there has been a shooting here last week." I was like, "What?" So he tells me that, and then like my head starts to spin, right? And I was like, "Oh, what have I done? Why am I paying like, it's like, oh, maybe you would have changed. Sorry, but maybe you would have changed your mind if I would have told you about that, whatever." It's like, oh, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, so I was walking down, whatever. I was trying to find the local market of Zarate, and I was walking down, but I was walking down alone. It was like approximately 4:30 in the afternoon, and I had I didn't help myself though. I believe that perhaps may have like actually manifested these very dire circumstances that happened to me on that specific date, in the sense that I was wearing my my Bluetooth speakers right around my neck right there, so it was a little bit flashy, right? Whenever you go into lower poorer areas, you don't want to be too flashy. So I had that, plus I was a white man, so automatically they see you automatically as a, sorry to say this, but like kind of like a cash cow. A lot of people will try to rip you off here in Peru if you're not careful, and you got to know the local prices. But anyway, so people see you as a big bag of cash because your currency, either in America or just in the West in general, is worth more. So when you come here, then you seem to be rich for them, right? So, but it's just a different currency that's worth a lot more, and I guess it makes you somewhat richer. But anyway, so you arrive here, so you're more of a target because you're quote unquote richer, right? And so you got to be less flashy and everything. You got to be careful not carrying too many valuables with you unless you're in a tourist-friendly area. So you got to be very careful about all those details. So I was walking down myself over there alone at 4:30 p.m. I was like, it's not dark yet. It's probably pretty safe. And then there was these two guys. Two young adults, whatever. I was walking down the street trying to look for the market. I kind of looked real quick, approximately where the market was on my GPS, and I was like, okay, it's over there. So I walked. I took a smaller, I guess, street, and then there was these two guys, two young bums, I guess, whatever, were walking around, and one of them, as I was walking, I walked on the other side of the street. I walked, and then one of them literally grabbed my shirt, and from his jacket, he had a gun, literally hidden in his jacket, but he made sure that I could actually see it. And he was like, he said something in Spanish. I did not know exactly what he was, but basically what he was saying. But basically, he wanted my cash. He wanted my stuff, right? And then he just started to grab. He noticed, I guess it wasn't well hidden, my fanny pack. I had a small fanny pack, literally right here, hidden under my shirt, but kind of like half hidden inside my shorts. And he grabbed onto that, right? But there was this big elastic around my waist, right? So he tried to pull it as he had his gun in his jacket or whatever. And then my heart was pumping. My heart was absolutely pumping. I guess it's feeling like a total pure adrenaline, right? You're thinking you're about to die. I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that's it, man. That's it. I had, was the fear of dying. And I thought with my multiple ego death experiences I've had in the past that I've transcended the fear of death, but there was still a part of me, part of my ego, right? Because the ego is all about survival, because we're spirit and we're ego, right? Anyways, and the ego always strives for survival and will always bring up its own fears onto you. And anyway, so my ego, I guess, was scared at that moment. But it wasn't scared enough because I still found the courage to not let him take my... That was a bit stupid of me, because that day I could have died just because I fought for him not to take my wallet. He could have shot me, There's also the possibility that, this might have been a fake gun. The guy just to try to scare people to get some money. That's very possible. But you cannot take any chances. Because if it's a real one, then that's it, right? It's the end. Anyway, so it was almost the death of this ego or this shell. Because I know that the spirit lives on forever, right? Because the universe is timeless. And our energy, our essence, lives on forever and ever. But still, it was kind of a scary thing that happened to me at that moment. But I still fought. I was like, nope. He was pulling on my fanny pack. I was like, nope, you're not. I was in my head like, no, you're not getting my passport and my credit card, buddy. Anyways, oh gosh. So yeah, but as it was doing that, then I started to, because there was two guys, right? There was one guy with a gun, whatever, in his jacket, whatever, and his other friend, right? They were there. And then I remember, because I've learned a little bit of Spanish here, and I can, talk basic sentences and stuff. I remember what help means in Spanish. So, help means ayuda. So, I screamed, ayuda, 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 for some people to maybe come for my help or something, right? Because I was kind of like in a weird circumstance, right? So I was crying for help, basically. And basically, as I was screaming, ayuda, 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 well, one of the two guys actually got scared. His friend without the gun actually ran off. And then the guy with the gun, he kind of got scared too, because I guess he was not expecting me to know a little bit of Spanish because of my color of my skin. And also, he wasn't expecting me to fight back either. And especially he was not expecting me to scream help in Spanish. So it was actually drawing attention. And this guy actually got scared. So he tried to run away, but as he was running away, he was trying to at least grab a hold of my fanny pack just before he left. And I kept pulling it. I was stronger than him. I pulled it back to me. I fell on the ground, and he just ran. And he just left. But that day, my friends, oh, that was scary. I think this was probably the scariest day of my life. And I guess my ego still holds on to the fear of death, but I guess I had enough courage to fight back, even though it was kind of a dangerous thing to do. So what are my lessons here in this whole experience that happened to me? I was scared. I was like, I took a taxi right away, right after, and I used only the taxi to go and buy my basic necessities. And I went back to the hostel, and I was like, no, that's it. I'm out of this place. I'm completely out of this place. This is nonsense. I'm not going to be living in fear. I'm not going to be living in a dangerous environment for a whole month at the hostel, even though I already paid the hostel manager or the hostel owner. So I tried the morning after to get reimbursed. He actually at least reimbursed me half of my whole month rent, which was still cheap. And so yeah, it was very good. You know, cost me like $150 American or something on average. So he reimbursed me half of that, maybe $75 American for the whole month that I paid the day after. And then I just took a taxi and I brought back, and now here I am back in Magdalena del Mar district, which is a very safe district, by the way. And okay, so now let's talk about the lessons I've learned. And after I talk about the lessons I've learned, I'll talk about the safe and unsafe districts in my own personal experience. So anyways, what are the lessons I've learned, my friends? Let me take a little sip of my tea here. The lessons I've learned from this is make more research. Be very careful of your surroundings. And also, do not walk alone in areas that are known to be more dangerous for tourists, or that are not tourist friendly. Or if you actually decide to go and walk around these districts, make absolutely sure that you walk in a group, or you walk at least with another person, so you won't be seen as an automatic target. It's very important, because as soon as they see you, unfortunate as it is, my friends, okay, in certain countries, in certain poor countries, you know, and there's like, it's kind of like a I don't know if it's considered racism or something, but there's racism in every country, right? But they see the color of your skin and they automatically see dollar signs, and they're like, oh, perfect opportunity, perfect person to actually rob, because that person may actually have a lot more money. So you gotta be very careful with your environment. So what else did I learn? So yeah, to always walk with a friend if I'm around there, not to live there around this area because I feel unsafe and it's not good for my peace of mind either. To mostly walk around touristic areas if possible, if I'm going to be walking alone, and mostly walking during the day. But you know, for me that happened even at 4:30. It wasn't even dark yet, right? So yeah. So oh yeah, other lesson. Walk with less valuables on you. You know, or at least if you go to these kind of places, hide your fanny pack much better, because it was only halfway hidden in my shorts. It needs to be fully, completely hidden if you're going to be walking down these places. Because if you don't have any valuables, like nothing's going to happen to you. What are they going to steal? Like they're just going to, you know, like end your life just like that? No, they're after the money. So anyways, that's what happens when you have the scarcity mindset, and one of the unfortunate things that happens when you have a lot of poverty. Crime increases. So you just got to be very careful if you're a tourist and you walk around these areas, and you got to know the safe and the unsafe areas. So yeah, so other lesson before I jump into the places, the areas, is do not fight. Do not fight, or I don't know, maybe that's like because my past job before I left working for the Matrix was I was working for the government. I was working for the Matrix until I was like no more, right? And I left. Maybe that's the past military man in me that was like, no, you're not getting any of this. I don't know. Maybe I transcended the fear of death, and that's why I actually fought back. No problem. I have no clue. So yeah, so maybe I shouldn't fight for, keeping my fanny pack with, my passport in it and my credit card and stuff like that, right? I could always cancel my credit cards if need be. Money is just physical. It's not really that important. And also, even though it sucks to lose, let's say, a passport, it's kind of a very piece of important paper not to lose. Even though the passport is a very important piece of paperwork that you do not want to lose at all, in any circumstances possible, if you happen to get robbed, it's better to lose your passport and to go to the embassy and get another one made for you than to lose your life. So that was my other lesson. So my friends, now let's talk about the safe and unsafe districts from my own personal experience. Okay? There are probably a lot more safe districts and there are probably a lot more unsafe districts. But I will talk about the districts that I know personally from my own experience here in Lima. I've only been here for 2.5 months now, and or like 2 months and a week. Here in Lima, in Peru in general. Sorry, I went all over the place. And so let's start. So. Let's talk about the safe districts of Lima from my own personal experience. More touristic type areas. So you got Barranco, very safe. You got Miraflores, a bit more expensive, but it's a very touristic area, very beautiful place, very beautiful district. It's extremely safe. But yeah, life is a bit more expensive there. Then you got San Isidro, which is pretty safe as well. Then you got Magdalena del Mar, where I am right now. It's very, very safe. Also, you got the eastern part of San Miguel, which is safe. So these are the ones that I actually know of. So Miraflores, Barranco, San Isidro, downtown Lima near the actual Plaza de Armas, pretty safe. And Magdalena del Mar, and eastern part of San Miguel, which is kind of safe. Okay, now my friends, now let's talk about some of the dangerous places you may not want to go and visit in Lima if you're an actual tourist. Okay, so let's start. I have a little list here. So you don't want to go to Callao. Callao is kind of dangerous. It's known for its high crime rate, especially La Perla region. In Callao, it's very dangerous. It's basically near the Lima International Airport. You do not want to walk over there. It's kind of dangerous. You will most likely be a target if you're over there. So you want to take a taxi through Callao. Also, you don't want to go to, I just mentioned it, La Perla. That's within Callao. You do not want to go there. There's a lot of organized crime, drug trafficking, stuff like that. You do not want to go there. You don't want to go to Pereña. Then you don't want to go to Cono Norte. You don't want to go there. You want to go to Cono Sur. Yeah. So these are some dangerous areas. Basically, whenever you visit Lima region, you don't want to go to. Within Lima, there's a lot of crimes. That's why you'll see a lot of spikes on top of around apartment buildings and stuff like that, so people don't climb and actually go and steal stuff. So that was a kind of a big shocker for me when I arrived here in Lima, which I do not see much in Canada, because the crime rates are at different levels, So yeah. Also, you don't want to go to where I just went to, Zarate and Las Flores region, which is more northern part of Lima. But, if you go there, which is a nice place to go and visit, just because the northern parts of Lima. That's where the middle class of a lot of middle class of Peru actually lives. You know, in the mountains. It's a lot of like older type buildings with like kind of empty bricks, I like to call them, or like kind of lower quality brick that can crumble easily, but you can still build buildings with it and stuff like that. And there's a lot of like I went over there with some friends. I literally went the day after for the 31st of January, and people were like looking at me with like, really? After like your experience of yesterday? I was like, yeah, at least I'll be with some friends. And it was super safe. I went there for the New Year's Eve party. It was absolutely massive fireworks. It was absolutely gorgeous. But you want to go there with a local. You do not want to go there if you're just a tourist and you're going to be walking alone. It's going to be dangerous and you might be a target. Okay, so this is not a dare. Please do not go there unless you go with someone. Okay, so you want to stick to the more safer touristic type of regions, especially around Lima area. So my friends, yeah, this was it was kind of a horrible experience, I guess, but it was actually filled with lessons. I learned so much from this lesson. And guess what? Do you really think I let darkness get the best of me? Get a hold of me? Absolutely not. I fought in the face of darkness. That's what you want to. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to show the darkness that you're not afraid. My friends, you're a warrior of light. You're a warrior of goodness. Never let the fear control you. That's because that's how the darkness or bad intentioned people try to control you, through fear. Okay? He tried to control me through fear, and then I cried, hey, help, 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 and then he got controlled by fear and he left, right? So that's just to show that type of people mindset, but I prefer to focus on the positives and the lessons I've actually learned out of this whole experience, even though it was a little bit traumatic, and I may even have like a little some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder out of it, or maybe not, but I'm going to be a lot more on my guard, especially if I'm going to be walking over there. But I've learned a lot of my lessons now. I've kind of explained them a bit earlier. So my friends, I hope this video was enlightening to you. And if you ever decide to visit Lima area, please try to stay to the safer areas. Okay, do not walk to the unsafe areas. Okay, ask the locals. The locals will know and they will tell you, do not go there. You can go there, it's safe. Do not go there. They will tell you. There's a lot of good people in this world. There's a lot of good people here in Peru. I absolutely love Peru. So do you really think that I let this whole bad experience that happened to me on December 30th scare me away from ever coming back to Peru? Absolutely not. I love this country and this is not going to stop me. Never. Okay? Because fear do not control me and it should never control you. Okay? Fear is only a human construct. And it's not part of our true essence or etheric body or soul or spirit, or you can also call it the Holy Spirit if you want. There's so many different words to call this pure spirit from inside of you. Anyways, my friends, I hope you like this video. Now I'm in a much safer area of Lima. I went back to Magdalena del Mar, and at some point I'll be traveling to other parts of Central America, because in literally 3 weeks from now, my visa in Peru expires, because it's only 3 months here in Peru until I actually get my work visa when I come back sometime in February, probably, or late January, but I will probably come back only in February once I leave around the 19th or the 20th, Peru. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward for all of these new adventures, and but when I come back at some point, before I actually start my shaman apprenticeship in the jungle near the Iquitos region of Peru, which which is a lot more safer than Lima, I'm gonna get at least an apartment at a very, very good price around this area around here in San Miguel. Yeah, I'm very excited to have shared my experience, as traumatic as it was for me, at least filled with multiple lessons. And I always seem to get very lucky out of my unluckiness. That's because I got spiritual protection. My spirit guides, my angels, my whatever you want to call it, they're always there to protect me. And so you got to keep faith that the universe has your best interests and that everything happens for a reason. Even that traumatic experience that happened to me, guess what? It was at the very, very, very end of 2022. It was actually preparing me for the challenges up ahead of 2023, and actually forges my character into a much stronger person with a higher strength of character, getting better, more resilient to challenges that may arise. Also, the 31st, the day before the new year, guess what? I received a hate mail. That was my first hate mail. I'll tell you like a real quick before I let you guys go. It was a hate mail. Basically, it was a fake reader that sent me a message to do some reading on TikTok, because you always get these fake readers all the time. Or sometimes they're real readers, but they always come up with the same thing. They look like bots. So anyways, like, oh, I sense a very strong energy from you. Would you like a reading? And then they try to charge you, but usually it's like other people trying to scam you, try to get some money out of you, but they're not even readers. So basically, I've exposed one of these fake readers back then, a couple months ago, and I was like, you shouldn't be doing, fake readings like that, that's very immoral, like, this is not going to bring you good karma, it's not good for you, you should actually stop doing that, please stop scamming people. And that person got so pissed, it actually replied to me multiple months later, literally the day before the New Year's, and said, I'm going to send some black magic on you, or no. Like, anyways, it's another spiritual attack. Everything is spiritual, everything is energy, everything is spiritual, and this was another spiritual attack on me. And do I let it affect me? Absolutely not. It can only affect you. Demons, negative entities, negative energies can only affect you if you let them. That's the power of your mind, my friends. So, it has absolutely no power over me because I know my power. I know my power inside, the power of my spirit. And it cannot overpower me. It's impossible unless I let it. So I got a lot of spiritual protection, and also got protection against black magic also. They cannot affect me. So throw them threats at me. I'm only going to get stronger because I transmute that negative energy or attack against me into something positive to fuel me into lessons, into actually growing stronger as a person. And I'm sharing all of this with you because it may actually help you to learn how to transmute your own negative energies and negative experiences into something positive and to stop focusing on the negative. Listen, okay, I literally almost died a couple days ago. Do I focus on the negative? Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, almost died. Oh, I'm such a target. Absolutely not. I focus on the positive. I focus on the lessons. How stronger can I get out of this? Much stronger. And I can show this as an example for everyone here that life do not get the best of you unless you let it. Have a beautiful day, my friends. I love all of you, and thank you so much for watching, okay? And may 2023 frickin' rock for all of us. And let's show the love that we are at the most true essence of ourselves, on the soul level, on the spirit level. Love and light, my friends. I love all of you. Peace.